Welcome to Etiquette Conversations with EFI and Shirley, where we redefine modern etiquette one conversation at a time. In our last two episodes, we had discussed about mastering and navigating office politics with tact. And we had talked about in part one, we talked about the landscape of office politics. We talked about how to master your power map. And we also, last time, in our last episode, we talked about how to navigate with tact, with diplomacy, and with integrity. So, in this episode, we're going to step further and explore how to manage the relationships in the office upward, influence key decisions, and also leave lasting leadership imprint. So now, like I said, this is not just about it's not just about surviving the politics of the office. It's about thriving in that space and that environment. So, first of all, we're going to talk about going upwards in this journey. Managing upwards isn't about flattering your boss, actually. It's about stepping up on others to get ahead or stepping not it and also it's not about stepping on others to get ahead. It's actually about managing your superiors. It's about understanding the pressures in the office. You want to understand the priorities and the goals of the leaders above you, and also aligning yourself in ways that make success and then your own goals to be more achievable. It's about, let's say that someone that you coached earlier noticed that, I want to use again, okay, let me put it this way. As a subordinate, I noticed that my manager he values updates and problem solving other than complaints. So if I have a manager like that, what I want to do in terms of playing office politics with integrity is to always ensure that I don't go to my manager with problems, but I go to my manager with updates, with results. If I am highlighting a problem, I'm also highlighting a potential solution. So the manager will begin to rely on me more than he will even be asking for, and also be asking for input in strategic matters. So, managing your superiors upwards is essentially guiding your leaders in ways that help the team to succeed without undermining anyone. So, that is really managing upwards. Then we're going to also talk about managing downwards as well. How do you manage downwards? How do you manage your your relationships downwards? Just give me some time, please. Okay, so how do you manage your relationship downwards? Or the next thing that I would want to talk about is your reputation in office politics. Perception, they say, is everything. It outweighs your reality. How people see you becomes your political currency. Perception and the way people see you becomes your political currency in office politics. You want to be seen to be reliable. You want to be seen to be fair. You want to be seen to be insightful. So if you take an example of a member of staff that likes to undermine colleagues to rise fast, then you will be seen as someone who doesn't, because you want to rise fast, you're ready to step on toes to to rise fast. Colleagues would not respect you. You want to build a very good reputation. It's about influencing without authority. It's about becoming a person of excellence. You want to build trust. You don't want to, yes, you want to ride fast, but you want to rise fast by building reliability. You want to rise fast by making people to rely on you. The You are calm, you're consistent, you're composed, your presence speaks a lot. You use composure to assist your colleagues. That means that you're becoming a very good ally. And then you want to also deal with being liked, being respected for promotion. Respect would earn you authority. Likability would open doors for you. And both of them, likability and respect, they advance your career. You want to learn amongst your colleagues to be approachable while commanding respect. Your voice, your tone, your posture, your presence are all ways that you can build allies in your workspace, in the organization. And that's a way you play your workplace politics. Um, you can also look at ways to gently self promote without appearing boastful. You can use wins with your language. You can give credit and you can circle back your contribution. These are ways that you can also play office politics. Then want to also talk about how you manage in office politics, how you manage conflicts and reputation with finesse. Um, it's not just about winning the battles, it's about winning trust. You want to understand that in office politics, we have 3 R's and they are very important. They are reputation, their relationship, their results. Their reputation, their relationship, their results. If you understand these 3 R's, it will really help you to play office politics, especially when you are having conflicts. So it's about reputation with finesse. Then you also want to learn about conflict resolution styles. There are passive conflict resolution styles. You have the passive aggressive and you have the tactful assertive. You want to use it, it's situational when to use it and when not to use it. And do not protect your name to attack another person's name. In office politics, you can protect both names. You don't have to call names when you're resolving issues. It's very important that you protect everybody's name when you're resolving issues in office politics. Then you have to also look at your influence strategy plan. What is your influence strategy plan? Your influence strategy plan could be about, so it's about your sphere of influence. What area do you want to influence in the organization? Now you have to ask yourself, after determining the area that you want to influence, the next thing you want to think about is how to build and deepen relationships in that area that you have chosen to influence. And then again, you want to increase your visibility in that area gracefully. You want to increase your visibility in that area gracefully. But in trying to increase your visibility, you have to ask yourself, amongst your peers, who are your allies? Who are your collaborators? Within your supervisors, you want to look at them in terms of formal and informal advocate. This is, we're talking about in office politics, your influence strategic plan. Who are your mentors? Who are your strategic advisors? And then remember, we had talked about it uh, in our first episode on office politics, which is for etiquette conversations with EFI and Shirley. It's episode 14. So you want to think about your gatekeepers as well. And then in building and deepening your relationships, you want to think about that place where you have your influence, where you want to have influence in the organization, this zone, the area. So as you build as you build and deepen your relationship, you think about those who will help you to build rapport. You want to show them support. You always want to increase your goodwill in that. And then also increasing your visibility in that place. In increasing your visibility, you must write thoughtful leadership posts and articles to increase your visibility in the workplace. How you present things in the office during presentation is another way. When I used to work in the financial industry, um, I used to do a lot of training, and that really helped to increase my visibility. I would take up the challenge when other people were not willing to go ahead and train. I would take up the challenge to train. And that really increased my visibility because I was making presentations. And so I was always volunteering during meetings to. I took up a lot of responsibility, and that really helped me. Also, in your influence strategy, you have to embody credibility and composure. I talked about composure earlier. You must embody credibility. Credibility is about your competence, it's about your consistency, it's about your presence and the emotional intelligence that you display. So, embodying credibility and composure, you must have these four things in place: your competence, your consistency, your presence, and emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, you want to think about how you appear, your self-awareness, how you regulate yourself, and your motivation, your soft skills, all of that as part of the emotional intelligence that you display. So you must manage conflict. In managing conflict, I say again, you must protect your reputation. In managing conflict, you must protect your regulation. You must set tactful boundaries. You can phrase things in setting tact, tactful boundaries. You can phrase things as, may I, if someone is trying to hush you and you feel offended, you could say something like, oh, may I clarify this position before we continue? And then you could also say, like, you remember, I always refer to what Shirley said. She said, oh, may I suggest? You could use ways to say that, oh, that's a helpful view, but may I present another angle to these discussions? You could say, let's revisit the facts to ensure that we are aligned together. Then you want to also measure your influence growth. And the way you measure your influence growth is you need feedbacks from people. You need formal endorsement. It's your influence strategy in the organization, and team results will bring visibility. So, in office politics, I want to end this episode of Office Politics with Tact. In navigating it, you must remember that you are not chasing power, but you are aligning with purpose. you're radiating value, and you are rising with grace. Remember that your presence in the office is persuasive, your tact is your strength, and your name speaks before you enter the room. So, office politics by itself, it's not negative, it's not bad. It is your strategy of visibility. If you do not play office politics, you'll be invisible in the office. But when you play it, remember that you must play it with tact, you must play it with diplomacy, you must play it as well with integrity. Thank you very much. Next episode, let me look at our topic next week. It's the etiquette of leadership, combining grace and authority for productivity and impact. Thank you very much for joining Etiquette Conversations with EFI and Shirley, where we redefine modern etiquette one conversation at a time. Thank you.